Hello everybody, I haven't gotten to play much of Combat League recently, and as you can see there's not much time left, only one day, 15 hours, and I'm planning to do a big grind in that remaining time to see how far I can get with only Totemic, like I've been playing so far this season. I actually started today around the 1600 mark because I had lost some points due to Combat Decay, and I've already gone up, about like 250 winning my last few matches. Obviously the nice thing about doing it late in the season, you're often ranked against people that are higher than you, get more points. It's not the way I would normally choose to do it, but it's just kind of the way it is. I actually ran into someone else who was doing the same thing. They were way lower than me and, had this big win streak. But it's been good matches so far. I look forward to, showing you where I get. But like I said, I just want to show the starting point at any rate. Also, in case you're curious about, where I'm at in the leaderboard, as you can see, I'm 36 and 11. So, I'm real happy with my current win streak. Actually, and just my percentages wins, I've got a 9-win streak. One of those was someone who stopped halfway through the match, and so it gave me the win because I assumed they logged out. But at any rate, it should really be an 8 streak. But it's nice to be doing that with Totemic, and I look forward to seeing how high I can get. I'm shooting all the way for the top in the remaining time. We shall see. Just a quick update on my progress. Checking in on it, basically. I've made it to Grand Master. Only had 2 losses on the way there. You can see my record is up to 48 and 13. One was to an upgraded Jackie, which felt kind of appropriate because I was watching LCQ, and there were so many upgraded Jackies or just Jackies in the top 8, so that was pretty funny. And then also a laggy Baraka, Berserker Baraka, so I need to lab some of that. But yeah, it's going well. Obviously, things are going to get harder. Now that I'm hitting Grandmaster, I've only got a day and 5 hours left, so we will see. I'm going to push for it. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now, hoping I can keep a similar, if not perfectly equal, trend as I continue onward. Just another quick check-in on my progress. This is actually from games I also did yesterday, and there was about a day and 4 to 5 hours left. As you can see, I made it to almost Demigod, losing 1 match in my run up through Grandmaster. I've got 17 hours left. I'm planning to put in as much time as I can today. We'll see how far I get. Alright, here it is. I made it to God in 2 days from Champion. Would love to make it to Elder God, but sadly there's just not enough time. As you can see, there's only 30 minutes actually left. I just made it to the God level, which I'm really happy about. I've only gotten there once before using only Totemic, which is what I did. All Totemic the whole way. You can see I had a little bit of win streak there at the end. I can tell you that most of my losses and most of my time was spent going from Demigod to God. I spent as much time going from Demigod to God as I think I did going from Champion all the way through to Demigod. I only lost a handful of times from Champion to Demigod. I mean, I had some other losses from earlier getting to Champion. But I'm pretty happy with my record. Way better than my previous record getting to God. I've got, over more than double wins compared to losses. I was really hoping I could have it down to a third, but steps, right? This is much, much better than what I've done before, and I learned a lot from these matches. Started playing around with Blood Totem a lot more, worked on my footsies more. I still need to incorporate a lot of other things, but anyway, I got some great matches against some top players. Well, against some really solid players, I should say, and I did play a top player. I played DJT, and then a couple others that have shown up in some online tournaments, so I'll be showing some of those matches here now, so you can see what I had to go through to get to God in 2 days. There it is. Hopefully someday Elder God. Man, it just takes a lot of time. I wish it didn't reset so I could just be playing people like this all the time and really just level up so much faster than having to go all the way through Apprentice, Combatant, Warrior, Champion, Master, Grandmaster, Demigod, and God to then start playing at this really high level. Well, even Demigod is getting really good matches. So anyway, really happy to have made it. Exhausted, stayed up all night doing this, but on to the matches.
All right, so you've seen my, kind of emotional run through Combat League. You've seen the numbers. There's, how many wins, how many losses, all that good stuff. But I want to show you some matches. I want to show you some of my top pick matches that I had on this, run that I did from champion to god. I don't have it hovering over match replays because I don't want to give anything away yet. But I can tell you that there's some interesting characters. I fight against some variations that we don't see a lot of, who are piloted well by my opponents. I even get a fight against some known players, some names you're going to recognize. So anyway, I look forward to showing you those, and that's what's up next. So yeah, I made it to God, but let's see how I got to God. Let's see the matches, see what I'm doing, see how I'm winning, so I can keep doing those things more. I can keep doing the good stuff more. You can start doing the good stuff too, and we can all get better. Hope you enjoy. Alright, so this is my first match of note in my recent climb to God. This person had 0 losses and like a 36 or 37, I think it was 37 win streak. So I was like, alright, this person's legit. Obviously it is at early ranks, and when you're climbing late, it's, easier to go on those longer streaks. But 37, I was like, alright, this person knows what they're doing. So Loud and Clear, a really fun variation to play as. Amazing hitbox on my disc right there. Obviously, it was like thinking everything that I hit with that. So anyway, into the match itself. Obviously, I'm doing sort of standard totemic things, which is, I'm jumping a bit to hopefully hit with Air Cat. As soon as I hit with Air Cat, I'm using my knockdown to pressure with forward 2. And yeah, you just see me scouting that. If the opponent doesn't press anything, then I don't press anything. I just let the jump back, or straight jump up finish, or maybe I whiff a normal to bait them. And then if I see them move forward, then I'll use the cat. And then once the cat's knocked down, then I go in for the forward 2 pressure. So that's mainly what you see me doing here. You see me anti-airing with back 2, easier to get the conversion. Honestly, if you anti-air with back 2, you can do a down 1 and then do the 3-4 follow-up. But it is tight, and so online I'd rather just do the 3-4. There you saw me using the sword ender instead of cat because I hit them airborne. Honestly, if you hit them airborne and they're around the middle of your body, the cat will work. But I honestly could have used cat there. But if they're a little bit higher, cat will whiff. You'll hit with like the first part of cat, but miss the next. So that's why you see me use sword there. But I took it pretty quickly, primarily because they were likely not familiar with the matchup. I mean, there's not that many totemics out there. On to the next. So in that last match, I'm starting to think, okay, was this person only getting a big streak because, they're playing at the end of the season and beating a lot of lower ranked people who mainly, just play the game for fun and aren't as knowledgeable. Not that the person played bad in our last match, but, I didn't see anything, crazy out of them. Managed to get that crushing blow again. The fact that they've changed the spacing on that is just wonderful. We are seeing some amazing combos from them right there, though. Man, that is that. 30% into a restand that they're plus on. You see me trying to use the sword a little bit more at that range, because with the previous patch, there has been a patch even since then, the previous patch sword became safer, so I'm trying to use it as more of like a footsie tool. Really nice neutral duck, scouting my throw right there. Obviously, Loud and Clear doesn't get the most damage from that. They could have done a down 2 crushing blow and closed out the match. And that scream, that scream is rough as totemic, at least with Aircat, because Aircat you got to be at such a high angle to get over it. There you see me being incredibly heavy. I don't know why it did not crushing blow. I swore that I held that, but obviously getting to use that sword crushing blow is a new thing. It's only recently been adjusted to have a better hitbox, more likely to actually catch an airborne opponent, so that's going to be an adjustment for all us Godel players, using it more, getting the crushing blow more, but I should have that. Right there, I should have. But you can see some clean play from, this Loud and Clear player, doing some cancels, using the float to get in a little bit, or I should say, the scream aerial hop to get in. I'm just looking to close this out. I'm like, all right, I just need a toucher. It's over. If I had a meter, honestly, I would do sunlight. and make it tracker, but I didn't. So what you see me doing there is basically playing a little runaway against Loud and Clear, because she has no projectile, just like the combo variation of Sindel, the hair split end, something like that. I can't think of the name right now. But point is, you can run away a fair bit against her, and there's not a ton she can do about that. In the corner, not good. Right, let's take a look at this combo video right here. You'll see they actually cut it really short and still do about 35%, not a full percent, because Kotal has higher health. But into that plus frame restand, gets a flawless victory ending. Bodied me. So my thoughts of, oh, maybe this person, isn't that great. I'm like, all right, yeah, no, they earned these wins. They're solid. They know what they're doing. I got to step it up for this last one. I do not want to lose, because I got my own streak, that I'm working on too. So here we are, last match. Really looking to play it safe, spacer. Be careful with my attacks. Sindel can punish Amplified Cat. She does have a 7 frame standing one, but Loud and Clear doesn't get that much out of it, so I'm not that scared by it. In the corner, you're playing risky if you're using Cat, because they can break away, the opponent can break away, and full combo punish you. So really, I should have been using a sword. I got lucky that the Loud and Clear player did not do a big punish to me there. You did also see right after they failed to do a big punish to me, me actually beating out the Scream with Cat, but that's because they were very close. Really nice job on their part reading things and doing that down to crushing blow, but even so, I was able to break away and get that neutral jump punch. Jumping with Totemic is it's good. What can I say? I mean, it's because he has options in the air. You can just press a button and then come down, or you can do Cat at certain angles to get away. What you saw there is, it's kind of in my muscle reflex now that if the opponent jumps but they're far away from me, I will Cat, because the Cat has such strong forward momentum, or I should say far forward momentum, and also upward, that you will often catch people. Now, I didn't catch that Sindel player airborne there. I caught them like right as they were landing. So you see me in the corner, not a good place to be against Sindel. I really like the cancels that this player does, but again, a lot of people just aren't ready for... They're not ready for Kotal to be able to attack from the air. You see them applying some nice pressure. I should really be flawless blocking that gap. That string where she has that little hop blast at the end, it's just like Kotal's string. So there you see me using the sword, because like I said, if they are a bit higher and you hit them with a forward 2, the Cat is going to hit on the first mote with the second, and you're just left running, which, isn't bad against Loud and Clear mid-screen, but you want the full damage. So that's why I went into this one. So we're 1-1. Like, I got this. I just got to be careful. Again, I'm just waiting to do that Cat right at the end when I think, okay, they're going to start moving now. Obviously, I prefer to see them actually doing something, but, it can still work. And all this pressure is because I hit with that Cat. All of this. Every series you see coming from there. This is where a lot of people really undervalue Totemic, because they're like, whatever, Totemic does less damage, Cat's big deal, but you get one opening that can lead to so much. Speaking of, the opening they got of me leading to so much. Here you see me backing away. This is something that I've started to do a little bit more as a player, and it might seem like, oh, just playing lame. Yeah, that's great. But the idea is crushing blows. I mean, not crushing blows. Fatal blows do so much damage. Okay? And it used to be getting hit by a crushing blow right here. Now, this is going to be big damage, and they really should have gone into the fatal blow right there. So, honestly, that was their mistake. Now, I do not like winning because the opponent made a mistake, but that's also life. Not just in fighting games, but because someone else can, mess up, that can give you an opportunity. And that's what happened there. I should have been dead from that crushing blow because, oh my goodness, Sindel's Scream crushing blow is so amazing. It has such far range. And really, they didn't need to do anything too fancy, like maybe one little aerial loop into a ground combo into Scream, right? All unbreakable, and I was dead. But you got to think about what's also in their muscle memory. This particular person was generally not ending their combos in finishers. Like, her standard finisher is her hair, where she snaps you back. Instead, this particular person was favoring restands. So that was what was in their muscle memory. And that is a good game plan, but it messed them up right then and there. When both of our backs are up against a wall, I know they didn't want to lose their 36-37 win streak, right? They don't want to do a Totemic player. and they messed up because they were in that moment. Now, maybe a little bit of lag, sure, but overall our match was pretty lag free. So I would say it was the pressure and that they had conditioned themselves to finish their combos in restands instead of killing, and so they failed to kill me right there. And then what so often happens to players, if you go back just a few moments, you'll see, and this happens to so many people, that when you wanted to do something but you didn't do it, you then immediately do it. So this person definitely wanted to use their Fatal Blow to kill me, right? So what did they do soon after they dropped the end of that combo and instead did a Scream cancel? They used Fatal Blow and whiffed it, and then I punished their Fatal Blow and killed them. So we've got to be very careful as players to not be so invested in doing a particular action that then doesn't happen the way we want, that we then immediately do it, because it's often going to be to your detriment. So that was the first really kind of big match of note. On to some others that I thought were pretty fun. All right, on to the next match against Jackie. Obviously, Jackie is a much talked about character right now, primarily due to Upgraded. Upgraded being crazy. She's flying across the screen like, Cheetah from Injustice 2. This obviously is not Upgraded. This is first round KO. But the reason I want to show this is because I feel Totemic does well against Jackie. And one of the primary reasons that she does well against Jackie is because Jackie has no sort of standard projectiles. Obviously, in her... I can't remember the name of her other variation that's good that Sunio plays with the dot damage, but she doesn't have a standard projectile. So basically, you can cat escape all day long. Now, if anyone out there is like, cat escape, what are you talking about? I'm talking about doing forward 3 into cat, or doing 2-2 into cat. This forces the opponent to crouch block. Because they are crouch block, you will then sail over them if you cancel into cat. Now, this doesn't work against a couple characters, doesn't work against big characters like Shao Kahn, Kotal Kahn. Also doesn't work against Kung Lao for some bizarre reason. Why does he count as being bigger? Who knows? But the point is, I wanted to show that I think Totemic has some options against Jackie overall. Now, this player that I'm playing against is Mr. Snacks. Actually, I can't show you the names because of the way I'm recording it. But very solid player, actually in a Discord with him. I matched up against him twice in Combat League. One time he won, one time I won. And you haven't actually seen me do a lot of cat escapes yet, but I know that a lot of people do struggle against Jackie. I thought this was a fun set, so here it is. And I know I haven't been talking about the actual match itself too much, so let's get into that. I've been more just talking about the theory. So, obviously, last match, I did my Fatal Blow when I shouldn't have. I should have died from doing that Fatal Blow. I'm still adjusting to the nerf to Fatal Blow because I did use it as a frame trap previously. After a block string, I would pause and then use it. A lot of people did that, right? And so I'm having to adjust to not use the Fatal Blow like that. So anyway, you see me, stuck in the corner against first round KO. Not a good place. Not a happy place to be. I get lucky with some drops. I'm expecting that string to be over. It's not. It catches me by ending the string in the cinch and gets me. So, right there. Right there, what you saw was an adjustment. Okay, so previously, you do forward 2-4. You pause ever so briefly. So you're not canceling. You just do forward 2-4. They block it. And then you go into Fatal Blow. It gives them a reason to kind of respect you even though they blocked your negative string. And it's not, fully real, or it wasn't fully real because Fatal Blow always had some startup frames. But now that Fatal Blow has more frames before armor begins, you can't really use that. I mean, the opponent would really have to wait a while after a block forward 2-4. So what you saw me doing there was block forward 2-4, block down 3, into Fatal Blow. So that's because, of course, the opponent isn't really expecting Kotal to do anything after a block down 3. But if you cancel the block down 3, or even just don't cancel, just press it right away into Fatal Blow, you can catch people. So I did. Mildly fraudulent. I mean, yeah, kind of. But the thing is, Kotal just doesn't have a lot of great options off of a block down attack. You can cancel into some specials, but they're kind of slower or unsafe. So, is what it is. But I'll talk more about that in a moment. What you saw me do there, though, was the forward 3 into cat, and she has no answer. Right there, boom, you see it again. There is nothing she can do about that. And if you connect, if you hit with the forward 3, now you've got, I want to say, what is it, 15, 150, 180, something like that. So I'm looking to get back in this. I'm like, all right, I've got an escape failed. I just need to throw her. I'm all good. And then solid anti-air. I shouldn't be jumping like that. And Jackie gets me. Snacks gets me. Now, I will say that Kotal's jumping kicks are much harder to anti-air. Still can be anti-air. Much harder to anti-air. So really, if you're playing against an opponent that you've seen has anti-airs on lock, you should not be using jump 1, even though you get such amazing range out of Kotal's jump 1, especially neutral jump. It's so nice. But you know, that close, you're just asking to get anti-air by doing that. So I should have been doing the jump kick, or realizing that my opponent would likely anti-air and using air cat to get away. But you know, pretty close match. Let's see what happens in the next one. All right, on to our next match. I'm sticking because you know, I played Totemic this whole season. That's all I played. So you see me using Amplified Cat against her, and I'm doing that to try to get some respect. You know, I want the opponent to wonder, am I going to do something after forward 2-4 to give me that little bit of breathing room? Because if you just don't do anything as Kotal, and by that I mean is you just, you know, you do forward 2-4, then you block every time, then the opponent's always going to know that it's their turn. Every time it's like -7. So they're just going to do whatever they want. So, you know, you got to put a little bit of concern into them. Amplified Cat, I like that. Obviously, I like it better against opponents that don't have a 7-frame standing one and can't get big punishes. Jackie does have a 7-frame standing one, so it's a risk, you know. It's a 1-frame punish though, and if they mess it up by doing a high, you can down to them into a crushing blow. So it's like it's a calculated risk on their part. You know, do they feel like they can punish it? And that's one reason why you saw this player likely throw me after I did the Amplified Cat, because they might have been worried about the punish, or they don't know that they can punish it with standing one. What you saw me doing right there was a down 4 confirm into a forward 2. I didn't do it immediately though, and that's something that I've started to do a lot more, which is wait. So, you know, as we get deeper and deeper into MK, you know, 11, and people get more and more familiar with matchups, they're going to know Kotal's range. Like, they know how far the forward 2 goes, just like you know how far the forward 2 goes. So when you get in a forward 2 range, you know, unless the opponent's got some way to contest your forward 2, you know, they're going to expect you to forward 2, right? And so one thing that, you know, has become fairly well known, I would say, by, you know, players that are solid, is that when they get hit by a down 4, the Kotal player can then jail into forward 2, so they're expecting, you know, to block right after they get hit by a down 4. So if you delay when you do your forward 2 ever so slightly, as you saw me do in that past little exchange, then you can, you know, catch them when they're moving, when they're thinking, oh, they decided not to do a forward 2, and then you do. So lots of other hits just took place there. You're seeing another big thing, which is forward 3-4 into slam. You can also really tell a lot of matchup familiarity with that. So one of, you know, Kotal's really good buttons is forward 3. There's a lot you can do with forward 3. You're going to see me use forward 3, you know, you've already seen me use it a bunch. You're going to continue to see me use it a bunch because it's pretty much my go-to after a knockdown, because you can forward 3 and then do forward 3-4, which could connect and knock them down, of course, or you can just stagger the forward 3 and then throw, or do the forward 3 into a down 1, which I'm trying to do, you know, more of. Talking with some other Kotal players, it's actually a really good option. But what you just saw there right before the crushing blow throw was forward 3-4 into me doing a mini dash into slam. And that's a sword slam where, you know, Kotal slams into the ground. That is a meaty. And a meaty means that, you know, they can't get out of that. Now you can see that in other videos that I've, you know, made and other, you know, Kotal players. But that is an insanely good option, because if you hit with forward 3-4 and the opponent doesn't realize that you're going to use a slam, you're getting guaranteed damage off of it. And now you're getting like, you know, 30% basically when you add up the forward 3-4 and the slam, or close to, you know, not a full 30%, but it's a really good option. Once the opponent knows that you're going to slam, then you get to start doing your other layers, right? Then you get to start doing, oh, okay, I'll just do standard, you know, dash up pressure instead, and really wave dashing is what you should be doing as a Kotal player. Or, you know, maybe I'm going to set up a totem, that type of thing. But what you want to initially do is forward 3-4 into slam and see if the opponent isn't learning, you're just getting free damage over and over again. All right, so we're 1-1 on to the last match. So here it is, final match. So you see me doing a little bit of bait there, trying to like jump kick and air cat, but for whatever reason, I find it challenging to amplify air cat, because you have to do it immediately. And the problem is, if you do not amplify air cat and they block, oh my goodness, you are so incredibly punishable. Whereas if you use Amplified Air Cat, especially if you're hitting them on the lower part of their body, you're barely negative. So it's a massive difference. So anyway, you saw me doing that, failing to amplify. Soon after that, you saw me waking up with buttons. You know, most people that played the game for a while know that wake up buttons works in MK11 because, you know, there's so many wake up options. People are trying to figure out how to meter you. You know, you delay wake up a little bit, and then you use, you know, buttons, and it's great. So for Kotal, after, you know, a couple patches ago, now that 221 allows for a meterless launcher, I mean, that's a 9-frame high. It's a high. So yeah, that sucks. But it's a launcher. So I've found that, you know, waking up with 2-2 is really, really nice, especially against a Jackie, because if they block the 2-2, guess what? If you're mid-screen, you cat escape and you're totally fine. You saw me using, you know, the forward 3 cat a couple times as well. You saw me, you know, using the throw crushing blow. Of course, I miss having both throw crushing blows, but is what it is. I want to show that Totemic's still viable, even though that was a nerf to Totemic to lose both throw crushing blows, because that's where he got a lot of his damage. But, you know, is what it is. So anyway, that last match, of course, closed out with Tracking Sunlight, always great. This match, you see me using 4-3 cat a decent number of times, because again, you know, she just can't do anything about it, which is amazing to get to say, like, oh, poor Jackie. You know, that's normally not a sentence we hear a lot, right? So let's talk about YOLO slams, which is what you saw right there. So here's the deal. Doing a blocked attack into a slam is, of course, hella risky. The opponent should be punishing it, right? Like, obviously. But if you don't normally do it and you save it for particular moments, then they're not expecting it, okay? You can even see, if you watch the tournament footage I've uploaded from RC, you can see the commentators kind of talking about that if you wait on doing the slam until they're not really expecting it, or when the opponent is in a stressful moment, right? At the end of that match, any hit, they're dead, right? And that's it. Then it's over. You know, I won. You know, I'm moving up the rank. They're moving down the rank. So there's something on the line, right? Just like in a tournament, something on the line. So if an opponent is in a stressful position, this can affect their reactions. So if I had just done that regularly mid-match, I bet I would have gotten punished, all right? But because I did that, you know, right at the end, they just weren't ready to counter me in time. And the slam hit right before the button they were pressing, right? Also, you know, if you've got the life lead, if it's going to be really hard for the opponent to kill you, it's worth the risk, right? Like, if they don't stop me, I win. If they do stop me, the match isn't over yet. You know what I mean? Now, sure, Jackie can do a good bit of damage, especially with Fatal Blow 2. And maybe I was dead off that. It was a calculated risk, right? So you don't want to use slam all the time off of block strings, but there is a place for it. You want to play a little crazy, a little chaotic, because that keeps the opponent on their toes and it gets you damage and can get you wins. Okay, I do have a couple more matches, so let's continue onward. Though I do want to say again, Mr. Snacks, very solid player. Bumped into him twice, and he did win the other of our matches. So, you know, that is 1-1 for us. But of course, I like showing this one where I won, so you can see some, you know, things I was doing right as a Totemic player for you to think about incorporating into your own game plan when you're fighting against Jackie, especially first round KO. So, for this next match, you might be wondering, hey, Jeff, why are we looking at this screen? Well, I want to show you that the top, you know, video that I'm about to play is against a Baraka player. That is DJT, okay? The reason why it says opponent for all of these is we just got a recent patch, a patch that actually fixed Kotal Khan's Fatal Blow, so it doesn't whiff like it normally does. I mean, you can even watch that last tournament footage of me and the Fatal Blow whiff. So the fact that that is no longer going to whiff is amazing. But I have lost so many videos before, like match recordings, because the game updates, then I'm like, oh yay, the new update, let's use the patch, and then I forget that means every video I've made no longer works. So I'm currently not connected online, so it doesn't show up, but DJT was actually streaming this match. He had an amazing attitude. You can watch his stream of us fighting, and he just has this great attitude throughout. He's laughing, having a good time. It's awesome to watch him and us playing in this match. Yes, I did win the first one. I'm not going to give away what happened with the rest, but of course, since I got the opportunity to play DJT, I wanted to showcase it. Also, I believe that Kotal Khan, even Totemic, beats Baraka. And a lot of people think that that's crazy because, you know, Baraka does so much damage, you know, so on and so forth. But the thing is, that we outspace Baraka. That, you know, we can attack in spacing that Baraka can't, and especially Totemic can, for lack of a better word, lame out Baraka. Baraka does have a projectile, so if you try to do cat escapes, he can catch you, especially if he amplifies with 2 projectile shots. But to stay away from him, it's worth it. So anyway, onward to the match itself. All right, obviously we've got the amazing Killer Croc skin, which is super hype. And here's me testing the waters. I'm like, okay, this is DJT. he's like the best Baraka player there is. You know, I've been saying for a while that I think Totemic beats Baraka. One of my training partners, Manny, plays some Baraka. I'm like, dude, it's a bad matchup for you. And I'm like, okay, I get to put my money where my mouth is. Can I beat DJT? Totally thought he was going to break out, you know, so I was like, okay, I'll do something when he break out. He didn't. You see me sneaking in that down 2. That's the risk, right? So Baraka does have a 7 frame standing 1, okay? He can hit me for huge, big old damage, right? If he gets me. But if he is not frame perfect, which, you know, obviously is harder online, I get it down to Crushing Blow. So, you know, sure, is it risky to use Amplified Cat against Baraka, who can hit you for tons of combo damage? Yes. But again, there's a little bit of calculated risk about making him, you know, respect that I will do some cats in neutral. I will end some block strings in cats, so he's got to pause a second. Amplification just didn't come out on that pat. That would have been a punish. That's another thing, that Baraka's projectiles are a little bit slower, or at least his recovery is a little bit slower, so you can catch Baraka, you can punish Baraka's projectiles with the cat, if you're really on point. Another thing Kotal can do against Baraka is that auto shimmy string that ends with here, you like him stabbing kind of underhand up with the bone blade. You can down 3 in between it, so that can really stop his stagger pressure and throw game. So like I was saying, right there, which you saw, that is me, and again, that is me looking to totem. So I play on pad, I play on Xbox pad, which is one reason that I have to do recordings this way, because I don't have a share button when I'm like playing the match live and stuff like that. Anyway, point is that trying to do totems with a flip stance button with my left hand, with like my left pointer finger, it's just a pain. So what I've done is I use the shortened controls, not direction controls, but button controls. So I've got it to where I can summon totems, which is stance change, by pressing 3 and 4 simultaneously. Downside is, if it doesn't come out perfectly, then his 3/4 string comes out. And so that's what you summon for. So here you see me like getting crazy close. And no, the timer. And I'm the one that's supposed to timer scam as Totemic with Sunlight and Blood Totems and you know, with the greater health. But I messed up. If I had those Blood Totems earlier, I could have won that, which is why I wish I spent a lot of time talking about it. So I'm still working on getting to a place where I can press 3 and 4 perfectly simultaneously, because I do find that to be much easier than trying to use a flip stance button. Obviously, accidentally getting flip stance is much better than accidentally getting a 3/4 string, so maybe I'll go back to see. Anyway, back to the match with DJT. We're 1-1. You know, Baraka just can't do a lot for Sunlight at this range. Honestly, I should be summoning totems at this range, but I am scouting that. That's right, because if you're in Sunlight, you know, you're getting more damage off that. A lot of times you can trade. There was a totem again. If you watch DJT stream, you'll even see in the commentary, someone's like, he doesn't blood totem at all, and it's like, I'm trying. I just say stupid flip stance button. Why must it be that? Anyway, he gets the punish, nice and clean. I didn't mind doing it because I've got a big life lead. I've got breakaway. You know, so you got to make those. You want to make those decisions based on other factors too. Like, yeah, you're doing forward 2/4 amplified cat to make the opponent realize that, you know, you might continue the attack after forward 2/4 is blocked. But you're also doing it at times when it's less risky for you to do it. If you have the life lead, if you know, have the bar for breakaway, then the opponent, you know, tagging you with that 1 frame link, okay, sure, fine. Now I will get my timer scam because I've got the life lead and it's done. It's over. So, you know, is this a lame way to play? Yes, it is, completely. And it's not that, you know, this is the way I want to beat, you know, every opponent I fight or something like that. But Baraka does big boy damage. All right. I mean, Baraka he hits like a truck. And I mean, Kotal's got the health, don't get me wrong, but obviously if we're gonna, you know, trade damage back and forth, Baraka does more damage than Totemic. So I'm looking to, you know, hit with some hit with some discs, hit with a crushing blow disc, as I did, put up sunlight. I'm looking to escape, all right? I'm looking to get away because I can get out of the corner. That's one of the scariest places to be against Baraka. But with Air Cat, oh, I can get away, as I did in that match. Like, if I had to be stuck in the corner against DJ2's neutral, it probably would have been done, all right? Next match against DJT. So I'm feeling pretty good at this point. I've beat DJT, right? Now I've got videos of me beating, other named players like, Wound Cowboy and, Too Easy and stuff like that. But, DJT, I would say, is competed more than, MK11, kind of a, I'll say a bigger name. I have almost beaten Scar. That was one time when my footage got killed by a patch update. Oh, that was so close. I was so excited to beat Scar. I was like, I'm going to beat him. I'm going to do it. But anyway, in terms of fighting DJT, again, I'm just looking to stay away. I mean, you can see the life lead. All right, I've almost taken half of his health. I've barely gotten touched, right? And I'm just looking to carefully wait, hit him with a trade like that. Because if I can just keep trading, awesome. I'll put up sunlight. I'll get my life back. I'll get him in the sunlight if he comes forward more. And you can see me just waiting. And right there, what you saw me do is canceling the forward 2 into slam, because the opponent is more expecting you to do forward 2-4 into slam. So forward 2 into slam works well. Honestly, I should have trusted myself that I had spaced him correctly, and just done forward 2-4 into cat. But you see me setting up the kill, like, done, right? So I'm feeling awesome, right? All I need is one more round. I got this. I've beaten the best Baraka player, and supporting my theory that I think Totemic beats Baraka. Admittedly, I'm sure that DJT has not played many Totemics, and if he grinded the matchup, things would be different. Okay, so of course I don't want to ignore that fact. And you can also see DJT turning it on right now. Right? Even though he dropped one of his combos, tough combo, he was going for that back 2-2 extension, or back 2-2 ender, I should say. He mauls me, right? Remember when I said being in the corner against Baraka is scary, especially if you're fighting against someone of DJT's caliber? I mean, I just got destroyed, right? So now what I'm thinking is, okay, I got to get out of this corner. Now, DJT, for some reason, he lets me out of the corner. And I think that's because, he's used to Baraka doing okay at distance. Like, yeah, if he's playing against Ascension, yeah, keeping Ascension at bay, great. But he gave me exactly what I wanted by backing away. I get my disc crushing blow. I mean, this is exactly the way I want it to be, right? Got my throw crushing blow. I am, basically a touch away from killing, right? So I'm like, okay, I got this. I'm like, okay, he's going to get killed by the sunlight. He's dead, right? I'm like, okay, I just got him with one cat. He beats me out of the air. I'm like, that's fine, it's fine. Okay, he's throwing me, no big deal. I'll just, like, jump again. I'll get out. Cat doesn't come out, right? So I'm like, crap, I'm still in the corner. I'm like, okay, I'll get him. Right there, something terrible just happened, okay? So here's the deal. I did Amplify Cat, because I was like, I'm going to kill him, right? Amplify Cat, or just Cat in general, does 2 hits. He had enough last breath, okay? Problem is, he dropped his punish. Now, it's online. It's a 1-frame punish, right? And I want to be real with myself, okay? I don't want to just say like, oh, I won, I'm awesome, I'm the best, get him and move on. I want to say, okay, Jeff, you messed up. Like, that was me fucking up, okay? Because if that was tournament, if that was offline, and if DJT had labbed and grinded doing that 1-frame punish, okay, I wouldn't expect him to get it maybe every time, right? But with the amount of damage that Baraka can do, granted, if you go back and see, Baraka did not quite have a bar yet. But I think that if he had done a string into his gut, like stab, by the time that all happened, he would have had the bar to amplify it and do a crushing blow after that. He could have killed me, okay? So that was terrible of me. Now, granted, I had another round to lose. I had a decent life lead, but with the amount of damage Baraka could do, that could have spelled death. What I should have done was forward 2-4 into sunlight for the guaranteed kill. Or I should have waited, escaped, been in a range where he couldn't punish with anything more with sparks, and then put up sunlight. Because you don't want to lose from a big combo or fatal blow or something like that, because the damage that Baraka can pump out is huge. So yeah, I was excited I won. Yeah, that was great match. I'm so glad that I got matched up with DJT. Just to also get the matchup experience, okay? But I do want to say that end was me messing up. Okay, I don't want to win because he messed up, and I shouldn't have even put myself into the position to get comboed when I had almost won like that. I should have seen that he had 2 defensive bars left. So anyway, fun match. I hope you liked it, and I hope we're all learning something from it. I do have a couple more of those, so on to the